What is up, guys? Welcome back to League School. Today's video and guide is going to just be on Season 16 and the crazy changes that you need to know if you're a new or returning jungler and you don't know the meta of jungle right now. You can just be getting destroyed in almost hard to notice passive buffs. So we're going to dive right in. So here we go. Just going to be playing a video of me just playing some support Singed just because it's kind of funny. So that's going to be on in the background while I just go through the changes. So just going to throw it on directed camera here. And here we go. So things that I want to talk about this season, if you are new or especially if you're returning, Season 16 is crazy for how much has changed. And like passive little buff being like the Homeguard buff, which is essentially just changed jungling. I feel like it's going to maybe change routes and maybe even the game if it persists down this route. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Homeguard buff. As you just saw there, the first item meta that you can do right now, as well as lane ganks. And so right now there's a Homeguard buff, and this took me a bit to realize this new change because you always had that initial speed at the start of the game. But now there's this change where Homeguard, you always have it, and it lasts as you persist through up to a lane, and you'll see like a little white wave where it goes away. And so this is just huge because you get such a huge move speed buff that you're actually seeing now, and maybe I will move around a bit, that it's actually faster to come up through your lane than it is to go through the jungle. And this hits junglers more than anyone else because obviously laners are going back to lane. But as a jungler, you're usually or used to go to the jungle as fast as you could. It was sort of a shortcut, which now because of the Homeguard change is going to actually slow you down if you're running through the jungle, going to drag or scuttles or something right from your base through the jungle. It's actually faster to use this Homeguard buff because you're seeing it right now, where this lasts the whole time, and you're going to see this white little transparent wave right here, and boom, it's going to start to go away. But that's a massive move speed bonus. It's like over 100 move speed, so you're going to get back to pit or scuttles by using that, and that just makes a huge difference in your ganks. It also has created a meta where now you are better off to clear your first quadrant of your jungle than you are to, so you want to just go and clear one spot, one quadrant, and then back, use that 400 gold to get an item advantage, and then go here. And because of the Homeguard bonus to getting back to the camp, you actually lose no speed and end up being at scuttles with item advantage. And just in that first gank, you could have a longsword, you could have a ruby crystal, you could have boots, just making that more successful. So that's a huge change that I didn't realize this, and you're just going to get outplayed all the time because the other jungler is straight up moving around the map faster than you, which brings us to lane ganks being a thing now. It's actually faster if you're trying to get topside, run all the way up here, then enter your jungle and just go around, versus before in Season 15 or sooner, you were coming out through here and then wandering up through the jungle to just come around. That's slower now, and the meta from what I saw in Season 15 was all about blue smite, and how you just need to be able to get around the damn map so fast, because the expectation as a jungler is that you are holding tempo, which means being in the right place at the right time. If you're not moving fast enough, you just won't be there, which is why I think you're gonna see Singed. If the meta continues on in this tanky AP meta to this tanky jungler meta, then you're gonna see Singed, and I'm so excited. I think I'm probably gonna do a video that's just for fun, because you are gonna just get a blast playing Singed in the jungle, especially into like swift play. That's where I would start it out, just so you can get it down, because that first clear can be a little bit tough. Once you get it down, he clears super fast, and like you can literally kite camps. Like the small camps, you can pretty much just kite them, hit them once or twice, and you're just running through the jungle once you've got Leanderies and Rylai's together. It's crazy. It's so fun. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about once I've got my notes here is just the overall meta right now when it's jungle and what you need to be doing. And so really it is League of Dragon right now. Dragon is the most permanent buff for your team more than any other buff, especially with Soul Drag being such a critical thing now. All those buffs are accumulating to an even more huge, powerful buff. And I think the stat is something like getting first dragon and not even getting grubs is something like 56, 58% win rate. So fun. Watch this. So fun. So fun. Wrecked. Not quite yet. I don't have that Leanderies yet, or Rylai's, but as soon as I get it. And so that is the meta right now is dragon. Because of that win rate, that even if you get grubs and no dragon, it's something like 46% win rate. So you've got about a 10% gap with getting dragon and no grubs and getting grubs and no dragon. So you're like, grubs used to be good. I would trade, first dragon for grubs and not feel too bad about it. Or if, it was like they're getting first drag, just go get grubs. It's not that. Now dragon is so important. That is going to be part of the meta is just how well you can defend and fight in that pit. And so part of that meta that you're seeing right now when it comes to your smites or your blue and your red smite, I didn't realize, again, returning how crazy the blue smite buff is and how with tempo being so big and just showing authority in the jungle that all that extra move speed, that's what blue buff does, is it gives you a ton of move speed when you enter through brush. But that's huge because obviously you're weaving that in through your play, and all these move speed buffs are just stacking to where even just running through some brush in the lane while you've got Homeguard is just crazy. And why you might see Celerity become a pick, I think it might be something where it might get so pigeonholed that you might see a shift there in how that works, because even Celerity is providing, I think, like 20 or 30% more movement speed out of that Homeguard buff. So it's just going to be so crazy for lane ganks that it's really going to change that meta. But meta right now is going to be blue and red smite. They just made a recent change where you're going to get a speed buff as part of your... So funny. Like they can't do nothing. And she comes in. You're a fool. Tossed. This is going to crush the jungle if he gets any buffs, guys. Just as a fun pick, it's going to take time to learn how to play Singed because he's sort of unique. But man, he's just going to destroy if he gets any more buffs. So that being the meta, because right now for champions, it's hugely tanky and hugely assassinate. Those are going to be the picks that you're going to see in 16.4. I think Xin Zhao or Xin Zhao, however you want to butcher that, is getting a buff, and he's going to be really strong in the jungle. And you might see that bruiser balance come back, but right now it's all about who's tanky or who can just get those kills. And that's where, if you are returning or new right now, I would really advise you to be picking a pool of champions, or at least have a couple junglers in your pool that are just really tanky. Because the fact that it's so dragon heavy and so jungle objective tempo heavy, Dragon Soul, Elder, and Baron are all game changing more than anything else in the game right now. You as a jungler play a really heavy part because you have Smite and no one else has that. So you can't be dead around objectives more than anybody else. Anyone else on your team can be dead. But if their jungler's dead and you're up, that is not the same 4 versus 4 advantage when you're talking about dragons. And that's why I'd recommend, if you're just getting familiar with this new meta, I would say pick Cho'Gath, Sejuani, Xin Zhao, as we call it, so butchered. is going to be meta, but I would really go for Cho or Sej. Cho has Feast, you got crazy dragon control, and Sejuani is one of the most mobile tanks in the game, other than Shen, but she's a little bit more jungle friendly right now than Shen. But I think that'll maybe change too. So that would be my big recommendation is play a tanky jungler right now so you can get this new meta down. Sejuani is really going to allow you to feel the movement speed bonuses as well, because you need to be alive. And if you are stuck in gold, silver, bronze, elo, probably the biggest thing is you're just dying too much, and then the other junglers are just capitalizing because they're getting all these uncontested things. And so much of what you might be losing to right now is just sort of passive buffs that you really don't didn't used to be having control over before. Like, I'm not used to Homeguard at all. I am used to it now because you're basically a noob if you're not. But you're going to get absolutely destroyed. What a sick play here. Get wrecked. Rylai's, Leandries. You just got nowhere to go. And I think, did I take? I can't see. No, I do have it. It's Exhausting Ghost. And so that is just really important, guys. Dragon Soul right now basically is a win condition. So you really just want to be on top of those dragons. Make sure you're using home guards. Make sure you're backing often because it really is just stats right now, and controlling that. And that's why I think you're going to see Singed become probably a high tier if he gets any buffs, because he just has such good control. No one else can really be like, hey, I'm spreading damage over the entire pit, plus CCing you. He's the only champ who does so much damage and doesn't have to fight really anybody, so you can both damage an entire team while focusing on carry, and that's just crazy. And your peel is like second to none for your own carries. So that's what I would say is probably the most important right now, is going to be make sure you're using that home guard buff, get that early advantage, and make sure that you're getting that first dragon. That is going to up your game so much, and the next biggest thing is just going to be not dying, because you as the jungler are the most critical person from a strategy perspective and a long-term 40-minute game, not a 1-minute gank or lane kind of skirmish. You are the most important person on the team. So if you're looking at jungling in Season 16, know that. You have a lot of strategy weight on your head, which is both really rewarding because you learn more than anybody else. You're going to be fighting. You fight everybody on the map. So you're learning who the mid champs are, the top lane, the bot lane. In that, the game's been around so long now that you need this extra knowledge to know from season to season. Because for me, like, I've been playing this game, I'm a platinum jungler, been playing for years, and like I was just getting crushed because so much was different, and it's so focused on movement speed now, whereas before it was, but it wasn't. The meta also has this hyper scale component, and I guess that's maybe where I'll end it. And that's the last thing you're going to see. It's why Cho'Gath is so good. He doesn't maybe have, a dash or a wall jump. He's got tons of CC. He scales off health, and he's got crazy dragon control to the point that late game, you have a massive health pool, and I could probably eat that Caitlyn for breakfast. And so that's just really crazy to have that. So it's why he's such a huge pick right now in the game. And I highly recommend him. Go check out my guide if you haven't seen it. I'll probably just link it, I guess. And that's not... I'm using him for that same reason right now, because he's just so hard to kill, but also such a threat that teams will, especially low elo, people will sink 5k worth of damage, 6k worth of damage, not kill you, and you get away, and you're a huge peel and a huge threat. So that's really the meta right now. I think, honestly, for low elo, if you really want to win games, shift more into a tank meta, because you're probably losing because you don't have drag control.
you're dead. And you just need to be present for your team more than anyone else. No one else can smite that dragon. And if you're losing dragons, you're probably losing the game. And you won't even notice that until you read the tooltip of all the buffs that you're getting. But that's what's like, I've been playing this so long, I forget that like those are all the things to put together to be like, man, how are they crushing us? And it's like, look at their stats. And it's so background, you know, you don't necessarily see that. You just see, oh, this ability happened and then I died. You don't realize that someone's got, you know, a ton of scaling cooked into them. That's like almost, you know, like they have like 3 or 4 extra passives really, because they've got 2 abilities that have a passive in it. That's why like Darius, whatever, is going to be a huge jungler potentially soon because he's tanky. He's got armor penetration built in, health scaling, or not health scaling, but health regen built in, crazy kill potential, but still a tank. And you can, you know, now start to hyper tank on him. And so that's the meta right now. You're going to see a lot of that assassin meta. I don't like it as much because if you're dead, you can't get the dragon, and dragon is a better and more guaranteed win condition than a pick mid game. So hopefully this helps you guys. This is really for you guys that are returning. So I'm returning. I'm making more content. Please like and subscribe. It really helps. I'm obviously algorithmically I suck right now. My goal is to get to diamond and to bring as many people along with me. This isn't for really challengers because they're probably just doing their own thing. This is really teaching and fun and just entertainment for anybody that's you know, stuck in gold and under, maybe soon to be plat and under, as I just continue to get back into the game and show you these things. Because for me, it was so much more noticeable before, or someone was just really strong. Whereas now, so much of the game that you're losing might be to a bunch of stats or buffs that you don't collectively see because winning the game is now like in tempo edges. So that's seconds and half an item advantage early game that the enemy jungler doesn't have. So stay tuned. We're going to be climbing. We're going to be laughing and having fun. And stay tuned for that jungle cinch guy because you're going to laugh so hard. Nothing is more satisfying after a rough day than to just watch people helplessly try to run away and die tired in a bunch of slowing poison gas. Too funny. See you around. Woo woo. Why are you still here? Watch the next video.